Hello, everybody, and I'm back. Pascal from Neutrality Studies, and some of you might have seen today that my English language channel, Neutrality Studies, was gone. At 8 a.m. this morning, pretty much when I woke up and just reached for my phone, I suddenly had this message of doom, which, by the way, all of us in the YouTube blogosphere are dreading when I had this in my inbox. Your channel, Neutrality Studies, wasn't following our policy of spam, deceptive practices, and scams. We removed it to protect our community. If you think we made the wrong call, we'd be happy to take another look. Begin your review to see more info to start your appeal. You can review an appeal until January 11th, 2027. So they gave me a 1-year appeal window, which is good, which means that at least my channel and data would be saved for 1 year before it would be permanently deleted. But what most of us then deal with is that the only way to reach out and talk to YouTube, which is ultimately Google, is a button, begin review. And that's the dystopian future in which we are living, that if you need to, if something as important as your YouTube channel is blocked, then all you have at your disposal is a review button. And yeah, you see it was like 8:49 when I then decided to screenshot this and then do the review. And I tell you, it was a real shock. Like, honestly, I knew and I was very aware that my YouTube channel was nothing more but a checkbox in a really large spreadsheet somewhere on a Google server. That much was clear to me, and for the last at least 1.5 years, I've been mentally preparing that something like this could happen. But in the end, when you wake up and reach for your phone and the channel is gone and all you see is this message, then it still hits you like nothing else. And I would like to say, first of all, thank you to everybody who's been supporting me with this. I got a lot of messages from you, from many, from people who were on my show before, from Ambassador Chas Freeman, from Sandor Kusai, from so many who expressed their feelings and their support, and a lot of people realized this immediately. This helped me tremendously. I still felt horrible the entire day, but it really helped knowing that other people also were aware of this and felt with me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for everything you've been doing now. And I just thought I'm going to just show you what this is. I mean, because a lot of people might assume that as a creator on YouTube, and my channel now has 264,000 subscribers. It's not one of the largest ones, but it is definitely not a tiny channel anymore. And some people tend to think that then you've got special privileges and so on. But the matter of the fact is, there is more than 100,000 YouTubers in the world that have 100,000 views. So it's a town, it's a small city full of people. And YouTube, all of the things we do with YouTube is completely 100% automized. So just like this message here, what then happens when you click on that review button is that I had a text box that allowed me to write an appeal in the length of a couple of hundred characters, a couple of words that I could submit to them, in which I could say that, look, I'm not a spammer, I'm not a scammer. Please unlock my channel. And maybe this is the point to also put in that I do believe that this was not an attempt at YouTube censoring me. We've seen recently massive growth of spam channels, of AI generated BS channels, and very hurtful channels as well. We know that Alexander Mercurius, for instance, had a channel created that pretended to be him, where you just see his talking head that just moves very slowly and then says things and whatnot, and that was not him. That was an imposter, an AI imposter. We've seen other such channels and such AI generated nonsense channels, even ones with fictional people is one thing, but one with people who actually exist and who imitate people, that's very deceptive. And so I do believe that this was an instance in which my channel got caught in the crosshairs and basically as was part of collateral damage of the YouTube platform, which naturally YouTube must police its platform in the good sense. In the bad sense, YouTube, of course, can do censorship, but in the good sense, YouTube needs to make sure that real spam, real people who just try to abuse the platform in order to do advertisements or whatnot, that they remain out. Otherwise, you and I wouldn't be using the platform, right? If it was full of commercials and full of princes of Nigeria who are trying to tell you that you've won $1 million in the lottery and you just need to send them $100 in order to get it. If the platform was full of that, then we wouldn't be using it. So it is understandable that something is needed. The problem is that because this is a 2 billion people platform, 2 billion people who access it, or even more, that even we creators, we are fully at the mercy of a faceless, emotionless, basically AI bureaucrat monster. So when I continued, then I said like, okay, send the appeal. What I got is this. This is what we get. Thanks, we've got your appeal. We'll take another careful look at your channel and follow up by email soon as we have an answer. Our reviews usually take 2 business days, although some take longer. Okay, and then what can you do? You just wake up and you try to live your life, although just everything has been turned upside down, and 4 years worth of video backlog of like more than 800 videos on the channel are gone, are just inaccessible. And by the way, I do have my videos also on Rumble. Please do also check me on Rumble, and let me use this opportunity to also tell you to please follow me on Substack. Substack is the best way to stay in touch. You can sign up with your email address, and even if all else fails, I could reach out to you via email. Please subscribe on Substack. That's under my name, Pascal Lotta, Lottaz, Lotta. You will find me there and can subscribe to Substack. So that's the best fallback and backup option. But all the videos, they also go to Rumble, just so that they're still there, just in case for a case like this. Actually, I was glad I still had them on Rumble, but still, it felt horrible that the YouTube and the platform here was gone, because the fact of the matter is that nothing beats YouTube in terms of potential audience of people who might just see this video in the stream and click on it. It's just the largest possible way of distributing videos on the internet. That's just it. And then, well, I got up and I tried to distract myself, and a couple of hours later, I think we even see it here, at 5 p.m., 16:56 my time, I get the message that this other horrible message saying, we've reached a decision on your appeal. Hi, Pascal Lotta. We have reviewed your appeal for the following: channel Neutrality Studies. We've reviewed your channel carefully. We've reviewed it carefully and have confirmed that it violates our spam, deceptive practices, and scams policy. We know this is probably disappointing news, but it is our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. How this affects your channel: we won't be putting your channel back up on YouTube. Learn about your resolution options. Thanks, the YouTube team. And that's it. That's all we get. That's all there is to it. An automated email, and this told me that probably no human actually looked over it. Um, it is, that's the entire possibility we have at this point. I had already reached out to the YouTube creator support, and I had chatted with somebody who, I don't know if that person was a human being or an AI. It sounded like a human being, it chatted like a human being, but I don't know. That said, it would escalate this. At this point, I also contacted a couple of people who then reached out to Google, and I started posting about this further on X. I already posted about it in the morning in order to inform everybody on what happened, but I then just had to reach out more and had to hope that one of the avenues would actually reach somebody at YouTube who would finally do a human review and realize that obviously the channel of mine doesn't do spam. It does podcasts. It does podcasts with academics, with journalists, with diplomats, with politicians, in order to bring you information and in order to do analysis about geopolitics. And that if any human being just had a glance over it and just clicked on one or two of the videos just to check what was going on, the person would realize that no, this is a genuine channel. And apparently, through one of the avenues, this is then what happened. So in the end, it was late at night. It was like 16 hours, 15 hours later. What was this here? Quarter to midnight, right? When I finally got the message. Funnily enough, in German. I don't know why they changed the language here, but they told me, "Hello, Pascal. So we've got good news for you. Our team has determined that we've looked over your channel again and determined that it does not infringe upon our user policy. Your account is not blocked anymore and can be used again as of now. Sorry for taking so long. If you have questions, click here. Greetings, the YouTube team." And that's it. Those were the horrible 16 hours of my Sunday today. I don't know what the lesson of this story is. It's like if you go for an impromptu short trip to Shanghai, always expect the worst. It surely made the day much more difficult for me, but I am glad I have this channel back. I'm glad I am able to talk to you again and distribute this information, because at the end of the day, what I also realized is that one of the greatest values of this channel is that we can build this kind of community, that I can reach out to you, that there is discussion possible in the comment section below, that I can continue to invite people on the channel, and I have very good people scheduled already for next week. I still have good videos who will be uploaded in the next couple of hours, and distribute this and have a public discussion and a public debate. I believe that is very important, and I pray that we can keep it despite the censorship that's going on in some corners, despite the sanctions that the European Union and the United States as well, Francesca Albanese and so on, is putting out there. I still hope that we can maintain a open society in the West, that I hope that we keep an open society globally. For a matter of fact, it's not the same everywhere. I you know, I talk a lot about the faults and the mistakes of the West, and of how desperate I am about the global situation and about the hypocrisy of the West. But believe me, the value of freedom of speech, the value of freedom of expression, the value of democratic societies, of the ability to speak our minds, of of having this kind of platforms. I mean, that's something I deeply believe in and I deeply care about. I would not go to war for it, and I will never tell others to do this or else take bombs or whatnot. But I am glad and I hope we can maintain an open society. We need it, and we need a society without fear. We need a society without persecution. And this episode drove that point home to me again, that really being able to express ourselves, being able to interview and to distribute viewpoints and knowledge is an incredible good, and it's incredibly valuable. And we do need to defend that at home. We do not need to bring that freedom with bombs to others, but we do need to defend it at home. And I will think in the next days and weeks about how to reinforce this channel, how to reinforce this community, the connection with you, how to create backups and the ability to stay connected. I don't have a perfect answer. There's no perfect solution. Again, please sign up for Substack. It's completely free. You don't need to pay anything. It's basically my mailing list that allows me to write you emails directly every once in a while. I will not spam you. You can opt in and opt out of things, but mailing lists are still a very important tool now when things are very uncertain. And again, sometimes it's censorship, sometimes it's stuff like this, like maybe a glitch, maybe just something that went wrong on the YouTube servers, but it sure gave me a shock. Sure did. So with this said, I wanted to make a video today from Shanghai. I wanted to make a video from how amazing I find China is. I hope I can do so later. I did take a couple of videos and scenes over here, but this kind of ruined my day. And well, I'm glad to be talking to you again. I'm glad to be online, and I'm very glad for this community. I'm glad for you all. Thank you very much for sticking around with me. And now, cheers to the shock. Good night and good luck.